a desire that most people have when pursuing fat loss is to get to a spot where they feel like, they're in a lean, athletic physique, their six pack is showing, but they desire to do this and they desire to do it without starving. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips that I use to essentially get lean. And I feel like I did this without really starving myself or feeling like I was going to be hungry all the time. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jonathan. I went from 250 to 177. I'm actually 175 now. I took my gut, turned into a six pack. Took a lot of discipline, took a lot of trials and tribulations, errors, mistakes, stuff like that. But I found the right thing to do, so you guys don't have to waste time doing the wrong thing. You guys can learn from my mistakes. But today I want to share the tips that I use to kind of still stay full and to get lean at the same exact time, right? So without further ado, there is a way to lose body fat, okay? And this is the way. This is the way. I don't care what anybody tells you. This is, I'm going to say, the only way that you are going to lose body fat, okay? Hear me out. It comes down to three things. Comes down to your calories, the food that you intake every single day. You want to eat less than your maintenance. Comes down to your macros, your proteins, your fats, your carbs, and it comes down to the activity you do. That's in the gym, that's walking, that's that's the activity that we do that's going to burn the calories, okay? Now, if anybody tells you anything other than that, they're lying to you, because fat loss is done with the manipulation of those three things. Now, knowing that those three things are the building blocks of all fat loss, we can use those to our advantage. And all fat loss is just, again, manipulating and changing out some things that can work best for you to get you the result. And the result is caloric deficit. Caloric deficit creates fat loss. Okay. All right. So now getting to how do we get ripped without feeling like we have to starve ourselves and be on these super restrictive diets and we can't eat food and all other stuff. All right. So this is what I did. Now understand, like I just said, calorie deficit is the main thing. So you want to understand what is your maintenance. You want to eat less than that. My suggestion is to always find a range between what's going to cause you to lose 2 pounds per week and what's going to cause you to lose 0.5 pounds per week. You want to know that number. You can go to MyFitnessPal. You can Google it. There's plenty of bunch of tools out here that can give you that number. I recommend this will require you to track your food though, okay? I'm in the camp of tracking your food is going to be the best method because it was the best method for me. Anything else should be eyeballing it. It's going to be hard to track. You can't manage something that you can't track, okay? So tracking is going to be the best thing. Again, you want to track between what's going to cause you to lose 2 pounds per week and 0.5 pounds per week. All right, now that we know that number, we know we need to eat in between that number, and that gives us a range between, okay, if there's a day you want a little bit more food, it's okay if you go over the number, as long as that number is not exceeding what's going to cause you to lose 0.5 pounds per week, we're still okay. Okay, so that's one way you can be in a caloric deficit to get lean and without starving yourself. Okay, so here's another way. Let's just say we want to speed up our fat loss and we still want to lose 2 pounds to 1.5 to 1 pound of body fat per week. We still want to do that, right? But that requires us to be in a stricter caloric deficit, but we don't want to necessarily starve, okay? So we can still eat within that window or a little bit over, but then this is where the activity comes in, okay? Now, mind you, this is under the assumption that all your food that you consume is high protein, low calorie, okay? That is a thing, because you don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose body fat. You want to retain muscle mass, so we need protein. So just got to say that as well, too. Okay, so we're eating for 2 pounds per week. So we're trying to lose 2 pounds per week, but we don't want to starve. So we can consume a little bit more food. This is where the activity comes in. And for activity, it's going to be the stuff you do in the gym. And I'm going to post a workout split right here. This is what I've recommended a lot of people to do on my videos. This is what I did. Full body compound movements. You maximize your time in the gym. I'm the type of person, I don't want to, be spamming all these different exercises. I want my stuff simple and effective. It took me from looking like this to looking like this, so it works. Okay, so say if you do that workout split, and then the activity is to walk on a treadmill at 10 inclined, 3.1 miles per hour. Now, the reason why I say this, because looking at the numbers, I think it came out to like 9 to 10 calories per minute. Let's just say if it's 10 calories per minute. Okay, if we walk on a treadmill at 10 inclined, 3.1 miles an hour for 45 to 50 minutes, that's 450 to 500 calories burned just in walking. Now, why this is good? This is good because if we have a little bit more food and we just do the walk, high protein intake, caloric deficit, we're walking, we're already in a calorie deficit of 500 calories just off the walking alone. That's just off the walking alone. That does not include the workout split I just posted. That does not include the daily activity that you normally do, the normal walking that you do throughout the day. Okay? You say, but that may be a long time for me. Let me tell you something. You walking for 45 minutes is not strenuous. Okay. Now I get it. I'm saying this as the person I am now. Maybe starting off in the beginning, 10 incline may be not feasible for you. Okay, then just do some type of incline. What I'm saying is that you getting the daily steps in on the treadmill is what's going to be a game changer for your transformation, because it's going to allow you to consume a little bit more food, and it's still going to put you in the ballpark of burning off, let's say, 2 pounds to 1.5 to 1 pound a week in body fat numbers. And you're still doing this, the body fat's still dropping off, you're starting to look good because you're hitting the compound movements, right? And you're still enjoying life as well too, and you're not like, there's going to be some level of sacrifice. So let me not frame this as like you don't have to do anything. You're approaching fat loss, okay? We're changing behaviors and lifestyles and mindsets, so there's going to be some sacrifice. You still have to be willing to get up to make time to do the walk, okay? That still has to be a thing, you know? But what I'm saying is that it's a way for you to approach it. You don't have to hate the process. The first time around, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I wouldn't say I hated the process, but there's so much I didn't know. And I approached it so wrong. I was doing so much stuff wrong. And like, if I would have just known in the very beginning, bro, all you had to do is really just walk, and you can still eat within a calorie deficit. It makes everything so much easier. So, and I'm telling you, as somebody who lost 70 pounds, because I do this now. And I think I'm 175 now. I weigh myself. I'm 175 now. So I do this now. So if you guys could just, like, you can get ripped, you can get lean, you can get a six pack. And I'm not in the camp where you listen to everybody else talk on the internet and say, well, of course, you got to sacrifice. You're going to be hungry if you're going to be in a caloric deficit. That's not true, bro. That's not true. Because if you do the walk every day, if you can make time to do the walk, you don't have to be starving, right? You don't have to starve. Now, like I said, the sacrifice is either you want to sacrifice the food or you want to sacrifice the time during the walk. So this is where there's a sacrifice. So like you can just eat within a small window, right? If you don't have time, then you just have to eat within a small window. But if you want to make the time and not hate the food portion, just make the time to get the extra steps in. Set your environment up to win. What I mean by that is like that may look like you buying a treadmill at your house, investing in some gym equipment at your house. You know, like, what is your health worth to you? So like you get a treadmill for $300. I paid about $600 for mine. In this closet that's behind me right here, 2 feet away from my bed, I can open that closet door, there's a treadmill in there. I set my environment up to win because I don't want this to be a problem for me no more. You know what I mean? And I still got two different gym memberships I go to. You get what I mean? So like that's what setting my environment up to win looks like for me. So I have no excuse not to get it done. The walking part, I mean, you know? So these are my tips. If you don't have a treadmill 2 feet away from your bed, but you have a gym membership, walk at the gym, you know? But these are some things that you can do to keep yourself in a caloric deficit without starving. So I hope these tips help. Apply them, actually apply them to your life, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet and there's a lot of goofiness on the internet. Everything comes down to the calories, your macros, and activities. Any fat loss program, and I after watching this video, go on Instagram, go whatever, and just listen to other advice, okay? Now, I almost guarantee you, if people are getting results, it's because they're using one of the 3 things I just talked about, and they're just manipulating them in a way to create a caloric deficit. If you don't eat carbs, I'm telling you, it's not the fact that keto works, it's the fact that they reduce your calorie intake because you got rid of carbs. Okay, it's not that keto is a magic bullet. It's the fact that they just created a caloric deficit because you're eating less. That's all it is. So you could eat carbs and eat certain things. You could still enjoy those things as long as we eat within a certain window. To each his own, but what I'm saying is that the walking is going to help you. And then if you eat more, the steps are what's going to cut into that food. So I hope these tips help. Apply them. Stay tuned for more.